So, guys, the other thing I want to cover here is Fuentes being accused of being a Fed. Elon Musk started this, really, because Milo was doing his usual thing. You know how Milo is. Milo likes to run around telling stories about people of varying levels of truth. And one of those stories that he's been telling for a long time is that Nick Fuentes is a Fed or a federal informant or whatever. He's working with the FBI in some way. However, Nick has some, I think, pretty good evidence on his side for this, and it's never really been shown to me that Nick's a Fed. So we're going to take a look at what's been said. I got Jay Stalk's Groiper contact to hook me up with some links about this story. So hopefully we've got everything here. Let's take a look. Nick Fuentes on January 6th. We're taking the capital back. Keep marching. Don't relent. Break down the barriers and disregard the police. The capital belongs to us now. I sometimes forget Nick did this. Yeah, for real. So, this has been a big talking point for a long time from a lot of people on the right. That Nick was engaged in incitement on January 6th, which we can see, and that he didn't get arrested for it. So that shows that he must have coordinated or informed. Well, I think he might have gotten arrested, but he didn't get convicted or anything. No charges. But he did get deposed. He did get deposed. We have his deposition transcript. This is 51 pages. Let's just skip some of the intro stuff and read through some of this. So they're just laying stuff out here. Swearing under oath. We pull up Exhibit 1. This is the subpoena that was issued by the Select Committee to Mr. Fuentes on January 19th, 2022. I note that the exhibit contains the subpoena itself, a cover letter from the chairman, a document schedule with production instructions, and a copy of the House rules and regulations regarding conducting depositions. Can you please confirm this subpoena is addressed to you? Yes. Pursuant to the subpoena, yes. Take the exhibit down. I'd like to start with some basic information to learn a little about you. I grew up in LaGrange Park, Illinois. I've lived there my whole life, and now I'm a live streamer for a living. Still in LaGrange, Illinois. I'm in Berwyn, Illinois now. Great. Can you tell me about your education history? I went to Boston University for 2 semesters in 2016-17. I got an associate's degree from the College of DuPage. I don't know how to say these names, to be honest. I believe I completed that in 2019. Thank you. Have you ever served in the military? No. Have you ever been employed in an office of government? No. Blah, 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 no. Let's see if we need any of this. Okay. Could I interject, ask a point of procedure? As you know from our correspondence in response to your subpoena, under my advice, he's going to assert the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. If I were there in person, he has a sheet that he will read from. I would simply point to that and, you know, nod my head or something. I don't want to interfere. I'm going to advise him to answer that question with what I advise him to say. I don't know how you want to handle that. I think, for the sake of time, you know, if we have, and I would recommend, if we have an understanding that if I think there's a question you should answer, I would say so. But otherwise, from this point on, I believe, based on your way your questions sound like they're going to go, I'm going to recommend he take the Fifth Amendment. Okay, well, we can. My plan is to proceed with the questions. If you or Mr. Fuentes have objections, we can take a pause and you can either advise him to raise an objection at that time, or Mr. Fuentes can raise the objection himself if he'd like to. Now, I would ask that you explain. I don't know what the script says, but we do request an explanation for why the privilege is being raised. Does it sound okay, Mr. Durkin? Well, but no, that doesn't. That is disturbing to me. I already told you why I'm recommending you take the Fifth Amendment. Provide you with that basis in the correspondence. Is my correspondence part of the exhibits that you have? It is, yes. I don't think it's necessary to restate it if it's in the record. But as you know, he's been told he's a subject and possibly a target of a federal criminal investigation being conducted by the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. They confirmed in that same status, as you know, quite recently, and as I've told you, I think that's unfortunate, because otherwise he'd be willing to testify. But the questions, I think it's an impossible situation he's in light of the pending grand jury investigation. So I don't want any committee to think we're trying to be respectful or disrespectful or anything else. We have respect for the committee, but that's my advice. So, I don't consider taking a privilege to be an objection, He has, blank, absolutely. I think, very helpfully, you just laid out the basis for situations in which Mr. Fuentes might raise a privilege in response to a question. So that was helpful, and thank you for doing that. Okay. And just to clarify, I had asked if Mr. Fuentes had received any grant money or a contract from an office of government. Are you raising a privilege in response to that question? No, I'll let him answer that. Next, but go ahead. Next question. Great. I believe the answer was no, Mr. Fuentes. I think he already answered it no, I believe. I just want to confirm. Correct. Okay, great. Mr. Fuentes, are you currently employed? Nick? Upon the advice and counsel, in reliance upon the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, I most respectfully refuse to answer that question on the grounds it might tend to incriminate me. W. Okay, Mr. Fuentes, what's your source of income? Upon the advice of counsel, and in reliance upon the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, I most respectfully refuse to answer that question on grounds it might incriminate me. Mr. Fuentes, do you have a role in the America First Foundation? Upon advice of... Just awesome. Just awesome. We support this. We support this massively. Mr. Fuentes and Mr. Durkin. I have a series of questions related to Mr. Fuentes' involvement in the America First Foundation. Is it your intention to assert the Fifth Amendment in response to any question the committee might have about your involvement with the America First Foundation? Yes. Witness, yes. Mr. Durkin, yes. Oh, God. Okay. Mr. Fuentes, you're on the America First Political Action Conference, correct? Under advice of counsel and in reliance on the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, I most respectfully refuse to answer that question on the grounds it might tend to incriminate me. Mr. Fuentes, when was the first conference held? Upon advice of counsel and in reliance upon the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, I most respectfully refuse to answer that question on the grounds it might tend to incriminate me. It's just such basic questions. So it keeps going. Mr. Durkin, if I might suggest something for the sake of expediency, I don't think it's necessary for Mr. Fuentes to state his full statement each time. If he wants to say Fifth Amendment, that should be sufficient. That's fine. We'll continue with the understanding that it's shorthand for his full statement. That's fine. Mr. Fuentes, do you mean the attendant membership list? Fifth Amendment. Mr. Fuentes, I have a series of questions related to the America First movement and groupers, and any sorts of membership structures, or people who might be affiliated with those movements. Is it your intention to assert the Fifth Amendment in response to all questions the committee has related to those subjects? Yes. Mr. Fuentes, did you hold any position in the Stop the Steal organization? Fifth Amendment. Can you describe your affiliation with the Stop the Steal organization, or any of the individuals leading it? Fifth Amendment. Okay. Mr. Fuentes, what social media platforms do you currently use? Fifth Amendment. Mr. Fuentes, what platform have you previously used? Fifth Amendment. Mr. Fuentes, I have a series of questions related to your use of social media. Setting the issue of live streaming aside, is it your intention to assert the Fifth Amendment in response to all questions the committee has related to your social media usage? So he starts asking and then just drops. He's like, okay, are you going to ask the Fifth Amendment to this one too? Yeah. Thank you. Mr. Fuentes, I understand from a letter to your attorney you claim to be on the no-fly list. What are the issues you encountered while traveling? Fifth Amendment. Okay, Mr. Fuentes, when did those issues start? Fifth Amendment. Mr. Fuentes, I have a series of questions related to your assertion that you're on the no-fly list. Is it your intention to assert the Fifth Amendment in response to all questions the committee has on that subject? Yes. Thank you. I'd like to move into your use of live streaming. Which live streaming platforms have you used? Fifth Amendment. Okay, so this keeps going. You make money from live streaming. Are you currently live streaming this deposition? Tom, can I answer this? Mr. Durkin. Not without talking to me. Can I talk to him? Blank, blank, sure. If you want to mute and stop your video, we can go off the record briefly, and you can call each other or communicate however you'd like. Go off the record at 2:31 p.m. Let's go on the record at 2:32 p.m. Mr. Fuentes, after you're currently live streaming his deposition, and I'll represent to you that he is not. Okay, thank you. Mr. Durkin, I'd like to understand on the breadth of Mr. Fuentes' assertion of the Fifth Amendment. For example, I'd ask if he currently live streams as a general matter. I'm not sure I understand why that would tend to incriminate him. I think it could be a piece of evidence that could be used in the building block or the chain theory, that it's an admission that he does certain things which would be a step towards some other piece of proof. Mr. Durkin, I'm not sure if Mr. Fuentes' live streams are available online. Why would it tend to incriminate him to answer the question of which live stream platforms he used or has used? We've had this conversation. So yeah, basically it's like Fifth Amendment. We really do not need to go down the whole thing. You can see he's basically series of questions regarding your relationship to following individuals. Is it your intent? I'll name them, then ask, is it your intention to assert the Fifth Amendment regarding your relationship with these individuals? Roger Stone, yes, Fifth Amendment. Brandon Straker, yes. Kylie Kramer, yes. Amy Kramer, yes. Michael Flynn, yes. Thank you, Mr. Fuentes. So the whole way down, it is non-cooperation, Fifth Amendment, does not give them shit in the House Select Committee. Gets subpoenaed. Does not give them shit. So Milo quote tweets that video. And there's a community note added to it. No charges, because Nick was one of the 30 or so confidential informants working for the FBI on January 6th to entrap Trump voters. His victims were tortured for years in jail. At least 5 are dead. So that's Milo's claim. It's not really disproven by the fact that he didn't comply in that deposition. But there's certainly a point against it. I'm pretty sure Milo has like openly admitted to informing the feds on people before. So it's just crazy for him to take this line of attack. And so basically where this starts is Milo posts this. Elon replies to it going, obviously trying to throw some fuel on the fire of the current sort of like anti-Fuentes stuff on the right. And Fuentes replies to it here. Now, apparently Fuentes doesn't usually respond when Milo is just, like, talking shit. But he responded here. Full-blown coordinated attack on my credibility for the past week. I wonder why. I mean, it isn't crazy unreasonable. I don't think that's crazy unreasonable. I was on Bill Barr's enemies list in September 2021, according to Project Veritas. So I don't trust any Project Veritas reporting. But right-wingers do. So this should work for them. I was subpoenaed in January 2022 by the House Select Committee, testified under oath that I was never involved with law enforcement. This is a definition of Fed jacketing. Apparently this meant to be like, what, Bill Barr's enemies list? This is down there, Nick Fuentes. Well, everyone write this, for real. So apparently also this week, on Wednesday, Dan Bilzerian, well, Candace Owens was demanding that Nick debate her with Dan Bilzerian as a moderator in Nashville. So Nick declines, because it seems like a gay setup. He lied about the reason his bank account was frozen. He can't seem to explain why a random French guy gave him $250,000 worth of Bitcoin before he committed suicide. Also, that individual, for work, offered his web services to create online trolls. He passionately defends Emmanuel Macron to the point that he is going on shows to make people believe I work for Russia through the Tate brothers, an oddly specific claim that surfaced today in the Financial Times, and it turns out came from the former federal prosecutors that the Macrons tried to have hired to investigate me. Nick just had the same idea, I guess, first. I kind of would believe that Candace works for Russia. I would believe that. Also, it's right to defend Emmanuel Macron against you, because you're lying about his wife. Why can't you just call his wife like a groomer instead of a transgender? Isn't that the same thing anyway? Do you guys? Not to me, obviously. I'm very left-leaning. He keeps lying about his January 6th testimony. He absolutely never denied he worked with or for the Feds on that day. He only denied that he was interviewed by them thereafter, and he never handed over his devices thereafter. Seems weird for his lawyers to go off record with the judge in that moment as well. Nick had this mysterious idea that people should specifically storm the barricades, ignore police, and take the Capitol. But he randomly brought a bullhorn to hear Trump speak. He was never charged on January 6th and lied and claims people were only charged if they went inside the Capitol. Brandon Straker never entered the Capitol and was charged for encouraging people to ignore police. My interview, we planned and discussed cutting a controversial trailer together to promote my sit-down with him. 10 days later, he mysteriously pretends he was shocked and misrepresented under attack to make people think I was trying to misrepresent him. See below. Later that night, he would rage on his stream that he was set up by the trailer. Now, after crying for weeks how no one would have him on, he's trying to craft a performance that he absolutely cooked me, which is why he can't come back for a debate about all of his lies. I honestly hope he is a Fed, because it's more contemptible to just be this dishonest. I'm already being trolled by followers who claim it's a hit piece. Crying, laughing. So, wait, he didn't... Okay, this isn't him crafting a trailer with you. That's not what you're showing. I'm pretty sure the moment Nick got back from the trip with Candace, he was talking about how he thinks it's going to be a letdown and how it didn't go the way he hoped it would. So Nick did a stream responding to this. So around here is where he talks about the Fed stuff, apparently. I don't know if there's more Candace talk here.
To talk about tonight, lots to get into. Big show, full-fledged Matrix attack on your guy. Right on schedule, just as I predicted last week and the week before. I wanted to do a normal show tonight, honest to God. I really did. There's a lot happening in the world, and I think we'll get to it tomorrow. There is a major peace deal in Georgia and Armenia. There's some significant developments in Gaza and elsewhere. I wanted to do a normal show. Really, I did. But today has been a weird day. I'm once again in this feud with Candace Owens. She's back at it again. She's got another bright idea. Candace Owens has another bright idea. She wants to take another crack at me. I've been cracking Candace Owens all week. Now she wants another crack at me. Today I get this text from Candace. She says she wants me to come back on her show on Wednesday. Now, today's Monday. So she wants me to race back onto an airplane, fly down to Nashville, go to her home on 2 days' notice. She's challenging me to another debate. And I'm supposed to do this. Why? Because the first hit piece didn't work? Because the second hit piece with Tucker also didn't work? Now what? I'm supposed to hop on an airplane, fly to your house, cancel my show so you can take another swing? Because we all know how it went over the past couple of weeks. Did not go according to plan. So,
also, guys, now is a great time to remind you, okay, if you're watching right now, 420 people watching, 80 likes on the stream, so almost 340 people, and please move their cursor to the thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing a thumbs up on the mobile device. That'd be hugely appreciated. If you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through the Stream Elements link in the pinned chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which will highlight a message and read it out on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that we highlighted in chat, and I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you.
So she asked me if I'm going to do her show. She tells Dan Bilzerian, get Nick to do my show. And Dan says, I'll moderate. She goes, oh, he loves you. Great idea. So I'm...
Thank you for the 50 Danish kroner. Thank you, Mira.
Emmanuel Macron is basically Mr. Logic. He was groomed by trans, and next thing you know he will be texting little boys.
Thank you, Mira.
Thinking about how to reply to this, and then she puts me on blast on Twitter. She posts a screenshot. It's now a public challenge. Before I can even reply, you better come down and do my show and face me. So I'm responding to this. I'm in my Candace Owens feud era. And I was going to talk about that during the show tonight, but briefly. Then it gets better. Elon Musk jumps into the fray out of a clear blue sky, out of nowhere. Elon Musk replies not once, but twice to 2 different tweets by Milo Yiannopoulos accusing me of being a federal asset or a federal informant in what is obviously coordinated. Why today? Why now? Now, me and Elon Musk, we're not friends. I don't know him. As far as I know, he doesn't like me. We were in a big feud earlier in the year, actually, when Elon banned 20 groypers over the H-1B row. You might remember this around New Year's Eve. Elon was pushing for limitless H-1B visas for Silicon Valley. That would result in like a ton of Indian immigration, which I don't think anybody wants. And so me and the groypers were saying that's a terrible idea. 20 groypers got wiped out. He called me shit for brains for being against this and for calling out the censorship. That's my relationship with Elon. But I have had zero interaction with him for 7-8 months. And now all of a sudden today, he's replying to Milo, who's accusing me of being a Fed, drawing attention to the posts, and making the allegation himself. And so tonight, what I'm going to do is reply to the entire attack, the whole attack, because now it's getting a little bit scary. And I told you on Friday last week, I even told you the week before that, I said I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because I could tell that I'm flying a little too close to the sun. I said this on my first episode where
I don't know if okay, I think Nick is trying to make it actually sound like his life is in danger, and I don't think it is. I think you're just I think he's trying to play up the victim narrative pretty hard. Pretty hard here.
Exposed Tucker. I said, look, I am very self-aware. I'm very cognizant of the fact that I am going up against very powerful people. And I'm not the first person to ever do that. I'm not the first young, idealistic, fearless critic of the system. A journalist, arguably, who challenges the power structure.
A journalist, arguably. Okay, Nick.
I said, I'm not the first archetype of that figure that has ever done this. I said, and spoiler alert, you all know how that story ends. That guy keeps pushing, he keeps pushing. They push back, he keeps pushing, and then they kill him.
Yeah?
I said, spoiler alert, the story does not end in the young, idealistic kid single-handedly bringing down the system. It's like, maybe that happens eventually, but first he dies. First he gets killed, and then the sheep scatter. And some people say, you're a martyr. That would be the Streisand effect. You know, they say these things.
Yeah, but I want to die.
Maybe that happens after you die, but first they kill you.
Bro, this is just cope. You ain't dying, bro. Take it easy. Take it easy. We don't need to see the whole rant about how they're trying to kill me, okay? We can skip to the next bit. So this is ending rant from the stream. So see this.
I'm the real on the
Fuck's sake, man.
internet that's in the middle of my generational run. And it is not going to come to an end anytime soon over my dead body because a bunch of fucking autistic spurgs that weren't even born here are going to try and lie on my name. Elon Musk, you weren't born here. Milo, you're a Jew and you weren't born here. Candace Owens, your husband wasn't born here. Go the fuck home. This is America first. I was born in America. This is the only country I've ever known, and I will die for America. Can you say the same? I am America first.
He's actually just aping Alex Jones so hard now. He has actually just gone back and watched a bunch of Alex Jones and is aping it so hard.
I've ever known, and I will die for America. Can you say the same? I am America first.
I got hot blood beating through a
not.
chest.
You're not even American. And to the extent that you are, you're a fucking traitor.
Okay. That's kind of hard.
I am America first. You are not. You're not even American. And to the extent that you are, you're a fucking traitor. That's the last word on that. That's the show. Who is the Fed? Will the real federal agent please stand up? Who is it? Who's the real federal agent? Elon, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance Tucker, and George Farmer, the son of the head of the Alliance of Christians and Jews in the UK? Or the realest fucking you know? Patrick Bet-David.
Chill. I don't appreciate slurs. This is being recreated for the sake of journalism and critical commentary. And I do not appreciate when white people use the soft A like that. That's not your word, okay? That's not your word. You don't get to take that back, okay?
Why do you say the N-word? It's to show people I'm real.
Yeah.
Why do you roll out of bed at 3 a.m. and do a show? Why do you say you're going to have hate sex with Candace Owens? Why do you say...
Oh, no. Okay, too much. Whoa. I'm killing the Twitch stream. Jesus Christ, man. Whoa. He is talking sense here, though. I'm going to be honest. Now that I'm off Twitch, I will say he is talking a little bit of sense here. There are some things that you just have to do for no perceivable benefit other than, you know, it's just you're real if you do it. Like saying the N-word, you know. That is true.
It's to show you I'm the real on the show. All these people that have been taking checks from Fox News, Turning Point USA, Dennis Prager, they're just not ready for this. They're not ready that we're in the Groyper generation. Because all this time, these past 8 years, what do you think I've been doing? Your attacks, your slander, your persecution, I have only been growing stronger. Don't you get it? I have only been gathering strength. 8 years. Lied about, censored, attacked, persecuted. Well, you were at parties getting millions of dollars for doing bullshit.
Actual incel rant. Actual incel shooter rant.
Lied about, censored, attacked, persecuted. Well, you were at parties getting millions of dollars for doing bullshit. Your show is ass, and you're full of shit, and you're retarded. And that is why I'm not just coming for Rumble. I'm not just coming for Twitter. I'm coming for all of it. I'm coming for all of it. You thought you'd bring me on the show and press me about Dave Smith? You don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. You let in a fucking dragon, bitch. Imagine shooting a man with this last bullet, which actually happened to me. They came to my house. They tried to kill me. I'm still here. Dude. I'm still at this house. You know where to find me. Bitch. You tried shooting with your last bullet, and I stand there, unfazed. So bring it on. Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk. I'm coming for all of it. I'm gonna fuck up your apple cart, and all the king's men are not gonna be able to put it back together again. You might kill me in the process, but you're fucking done. Signed, America. That's my body. And that's me. And that's my body.
Signed, America.
The dragon is ready to grape.
Thank you for the $5. That's a funny rant. Trying a little too hard on that one, I think. Trying a little too hard in a few places. That one was a bit more comedy style. Thought it was in theatre class again. Okay. I mean, I think that's the Fuentes drama,